What if I told you the Secret Service has a psychological formula that can identify dangerous people with almost perfect accuracy? A method so powerful they use it to protect presidents, and you've never heard of it until today. These aren't just theories, they're field-tested tactics that elite agents use to detect threats before they become deadly. And the most shocking part? They work even better on the toxic people destroying your life right now. Some relationships aren't just unpleasant, they're silently eroding your mental health, sabotaging your career and undermining your future. Let me ask you, has someone ever made you question your own reality? Made you doubt what you know to be true? There's a Secret Service code name for this manipulation tactic, and once you recognize it, you'll never fall victim again. And what's the most profound realization here? Stay till the end to find out. Did you know that Secret Service agents can spot potential assassins in a crowd of thousands before they make a single threatening move? How is this even possible? The answer lies in what agents call baseline deviation, but here's what they don't tell civilians. The real power isn't in spotting unusual behavior, it's in establishing what normal behavior looks like first. Most people get this completely backward. They wait for something obviously wrong before becoming suspicious. So here's the approach that could save your sanity. Observe behavior over time, not just moments of crisis. Look for patterns, not isolated incidents. Note consistent deviations, not one-off situations. Now ask yourself, have you established their true baseline, or are they carefully controlling which version of themselves you get to see? What's the difference between someone just having a bad day and someone truly dangerous? Secret Service agents never leave this to chance or intuition. They use something far more reliable: the threat assessment matrix. This reveals the shocking truth about toxic relationships. They follow a mathematical pattern that can be predicted with startling accuracy. The matrix evaluates two factors most people never connect. 1. Frequency of toxic behavior. 2. Severity of impact on your life. Here's where it gets interesting. Most people focus only on severity and completely ignore frequency. But that small behavior repeated 100 times might actually be more dangerous than the dramatic blow-up that happens once. Low frequency plus low severity equals normal human behavior. High frequency plus high severity equals immediate threat. Removed from your life. So the most sophisticated toxic people have mastered one skill: convincing you their high frequency, high severity behavior is perfectly normal. But the matrix never lies. Have you ever wondered why the Secret Service creates multiple rings of security around presidents instead of just one strong barrier? The answer reveals a critical flaw in how most people protect themselves from toxic individuals. Most of us make a fatal mistake. We have a single boundary. Once someone crosses it, they have complete access to every part of our lives. This leaves you incredibly vulnerable. Instead, elite security details establish a protective perimeter with 3 distinct boundaries. 1. Outer perimeter for acquaintances and new people. Limited time, minimal personal information. 2. Secondary perimeter for those who've proven worthy. More energy and deeper conversations. 3. Inner circle, reserved only for those who've consistently demonstrated trustworthiness over time. So here's the crucial part most people miss. Each perimeter has its own set of rules, and pay close attention. People can be moved to an outer ring if they violate those rules. The real question isn't whether someone once deserved access to your inner circle, it's whether they still deserve it based on their current behavior. What if I told you there's a single indicator that predicts toxic behavior with over 90% accuracy? A pattern so reliable that Secret Service agents consider it the gold standard for threat assessment. It's not what they say, it's not even what they do once, it's what they do repeatedly. The behavioral consistency principle states a powerful truth. Past behavior is the most reliable predictor of future behavior. While most people are distracted by apologies and promises, Secret Service agents focus exclusively on established patterns. This one shift in perspective changes everything. So here's how to apply this immediately. Document patterns, not incidents. Look for consistency between small behaviors and large ones. Pay special attention to how they treat others, especially those who can't benefit them. Notice the gap between what they promise and what they actually do. The single most dangerous red flag? The person who keeps promising change while repeating the exact same harmful behaviors. When someone shows you who they are through consistent behavior, the Secret Service would tell you, believe them the first time. Did you know that how you share personal information could be putting you at risk without you realizing it? Secret Service agents use a protection strategy that most people have never even heard of. It's called information compartmentalization, and it's based on an uncomfortable truth. Information is currency in the hands of manipulators. Toxic people are information collectors. They gather personal details, vulnerabilities, and secrets, not to understand you better, but to use against you when it benefits them most. Here's the protection protocol. Create information tiers based on proven trustworthiness over time. Test with small, inconsequential disclosures first. Watch carefully for information-seeking behavior that seems disproportionate to the relationship. Monitor how information flows after you share it. So here's what makes this technique so powerful. The most dangerous toxic people will try to accelerate intimacy, pushing for deep disclosures before trust has been established. Then they'll make you feel guilty for having any information boundaries at all. That pressure to disclose. It's not about connection, it's about control. What if the conflicts in your life aren't random? What if they're being orchestrated by someone who benefits from keeping people divided? There's a manipulation tactic so effective that even intelligent, aware people fall victim to it every day. Secret Service agents call it triangulation, and it's happening in your life right now. Here's the shocking part. Both parties believe they're getting the complete story, never realizing they're being manipulated against each other. So, here's how triangulation works. Rather than communicating directly, the toxic person serves as a message carrier between people, subtly altering information to create conflict or distrust. How to spot it immediately? Watch for people who constantly begin with, "I heard that," or "they were saying that you." Notice if someone seems eager to deliver negative information about others. Be alert when someone portrays themselves as the reasonable mediator between you and others. The protection protocol is deceptively simple but incredibly effective. Direct communication. Cut out the middleman completely. When someone comes to you with news about what someone else supposedly said, your response should be, "Let's call them right now to discuss it together." Watch how quickly triangulators back away from this suggestion. What if I told you there's a moment when toxic people can't help but reveal their true nature, a situation where even the most skilled manipulators can't maintain their mask? Secret Service agents know something most people don't. The most revealing moments aren't when things go well, they're when things fall apart. Toxic people can maintain a perfect facade in controlled situations. It's only when they face real adversity that their true character emerges, often dramatically. Here's what to watch for. These signals never lie. Disproportionate anger in response to minor inconveniences. Immediately blaming others instead of taking any responsibility. Punishing innocent bystanders for their own frustration. The next time you're considering letting someone into your inner circle, ask yourself, have I seen how they handle genuine difficulty, a rejection, a failure, an unexpected problem they can't control? Remember the Secret Service truth: stress doesn't create character, it reveals it with absolute clarity. What if there was a mathematical formula that could identify toxic relationships with nearly perfect accuracy? A calculation so powerful that Secret Service agents use it to spot potential security risks before they make a single threatening move. Most people completely overlook this critical imbalance until it's destroyed their lives. But once you understand how to calculate it, toxic relationships become immediately obvious. The reciprocity analysis examines the most fundamental aspect of human connection, the balance of exchange over time. Here are the 4 variables in the equation. 1. Energy exchange. After interactions, do you feel depleted or energized? 2. Emotional investment. Is the emotional labor one-sided or mutual? 3. Time and attention. Who consistently accommodates the other's schedule? 4. Crisis response. Who shows up when needed versus who creates the crises? Here's the insight that changes everything. True reciprocity isn't perfect equality in each moment, it's balance over time. Toxic people exploit this nuance by creating brief periods of extreme giving, followed by extended periods of taking. The most dangerous imbalance when someone expects immediate responses to their needs while consistently delaying response to yours. If you were to assign a numerical value to what you give versus what you receive, what would that ratio be? Secret Service agents consider anything more skewed than 60-40 over time to be a potential security threat. Toxic people are betting you'll never do this calculation. What would you say if I told you there's a secret test that reveals someone's true character with almost 100% accuracy? A method so subtle that the person being evaluated never realizes they're being tested. The most dangerous people can maintain perfect behavior when they know they're being watched. But there's one situation where their guard drops completely. The covert consistency test is exactly what it sounds like. a way to test whether someone maintains the same character and values regardless of who they're interacting with. Here's the test that never fails. 1. Observe how they treat people in service positions, waitstaff, assistants, clerks. 2. Notice their behavior when they think no one important is watching. 3. Pay close attention to how they speak about vulnerable people who can't benefit them. 4. Watch for consistency between their public persona and private behavior. Here's why this works every time. The test must be completely covert. The moment someone knows they're being evaluated, they'll modify their behavior to present their ideal self. The most revealing version of this test: observe how they treat people after those people can no longer provide value to them. Ex-friends, former employees, previous partners, this treatment predicts your future with startling accuracy. True character isn't who someone is when everyone's watching. It's who they are when they think no one consequential is watching. What if your timing in responding to toxic behavior is more important than the response itself? What if that delay you think is reasonable is actually the exact window toxic people count on to maintain control? Secret Service agents never wait to address a security breach. Yet most of us delay confronting toxic behavior until it's too late. The Rapid Response Protocol addresses problematic behavior immediately, directly, and proportionally. Here's what toxic people don't want you to know. They count on your hesitation. They expect you to wait until you've reached a breaking point before speaking up. By then, they've already prepared their defense. The protocol has 4 components that disrupt this pattern. 1. Immediate response within seconds or minutes of the behavior. 2. Clear, unemotional identification of the specific behavior. 3. Firm boundary statement. 4. Consequence if the boundary is violated again. When you respond immediately, you catch toxic people off guard before they can deploy their usual tactics. The power dynamic shifts instantly. Examples that work every time. You just interrupted me. I need you to let me finish my thought. That comment was dismissive. I expect to be spoken to with respect. You're raising your voice. We can continue this conversation when you can speak calmly. The most powerful element? Consistency. When toxic people realize that every single instance of their behavior will be immediately addressed, they either change their approach or remove themselves from your life. Either outcome is a win for you. What if I told you toxic behavior isn't random at all? What if it follows a precise, predictable sequence that, once recognized, can never fool you again? Most people treat each toxic incident as a unique event. Secret Service agents know better. They look for the pattern, not the isolated incident. The Pattern Recognition Protocol is a systematic approach to identifying cycles of toxic behavior that repeat with mathematical precision. So here's the revelation. Once you map a toxic pattern, you can intervene at any point in the cycle, or exit entirely before the most damaging phase begins. These common patterns appear across different relationships. The idealized devalue discard cycle, the transgression apology honeymoon sequence, and the tension explosion reconciliation pattern. To implement this protocol immediately, document incidents with exact dates and triggers. Identify the complete cycle from beginning to end. Notice how long each phase typically lasts. Predict when the next phase will begin. The most important insight: the pattern will repeat with increasing severity unless permanently interrupted. Think about a toxic relationship in your past. Can you now see the clear pattern that was playing out? Could you have exited the cycle earlier had you recognized it? Toxic people count on you not connecting these dots, not recognizing that their behavior follows a predictable pattern designed to keep you confused and compliant. What if I told you that how you leave a toxic relationship is more important than the decision to leave itself? That the exit strategy determines whether you'll truly be free or pulled back in? Secret Service agents never exit a situation without a comprehensive extraction plan. Neither should you. The strategic extraction method is a complete system for removing toxic people from your life with minimal blowback and maximum protection. So here's what makes this approach essential. Toxic people rarely allow others to leave their control without significant resistance. Their response to perceived rejection can range from emotional manipulation to active sabotage. The method consists of 5 critical phases most people completely overlook. 1. Preparation: secure important documents, finances, and support systems before making any moves. 2. Information control: strictly limit what the toxic person knows about your plans and future movements. 3. Timing selection: choose the moment of extraction strategically, not emotionally. 4. Clear communication: deliver your decision firmly, briefly, and without room for negotiation. 5. Aftermath management: anticipate and prepare for predictable responses. And what's the most dangerous mistake? Announcing your plans to distance yourself before you're fully prepared for the response. The most toxic people have spent years developing strategies to maintain their control. Your extraction plan must be more strategic than their retention tactics. These 12 Secret Service techniques transform how you identify and remove toxic people from your life. But there's one final insight that ties everything together. The most profound realization: the goal isn't just removing current threats, it's creating an environment where new threats can't easily take root. These techniques aren't just reactive measures, they're a proactive system for creating a life where toxicity can't survive. What connects all these approaches? They're built on a foundation of self-respect and non-negotiable boundaries. They operate from the understanding that your well-being isn't optional. The question I asked at the beginning about how some people seem to have a sixth sense for dangerous individuals, the truth is, it's not mystical at all. It's about training yourself to see what's actually there, not what you hope is there. You deserve relationships that energize rather than drain you, connections that support rather than undermine you, people who respect rather than exploit you. Now you have the exact system to create that reality. The same techniques that protect world leaders can protect you too. Use them wisely,